Now, after these things, it came about that the true God had put Abraham to the test. Accordingly, he said to him, Abraham, to which he said to him, Here I am. And he went on to say, Take please your son, your only son whom you so love, Isaac, and make a trip to the land of Moriah, and there offer him up as a burnt offering on one of the mountains that I shall designate to you. So Abraham got up early in the morning and saddled his ass, and took 2 of his attendants with him and Isaac his son, and he split the wood for the burnt offering. Then he rose and went on the trip to the place that the true God had designated to him. It was first on the 3rd day that Abraham raised his eyes and began to see the place from a distance. Abraham now said to his attendants, You stay here with the ass, but I and the boy want to go over there, worship, and return to you. After that, Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and put it upon Isaac his son, and took his hands in the fire and the slaughtering knife, and both of them went on together. And Isaac began to say to Abraham his father, My father. In turn he said, Here I am, my son. So he continued, Here are the fire and the wood, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering? To this Abraham said, God will provide himself the sheep for the burnt offering, my son. And both of them walked on together. Finally they reached the place that the true God had designated to him. And Abraham built an altar there, and went and set the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son hand and foot, and put him upon the altar on top of the wood. Then Abraham put out his hand and took the slaughtering knife to kill his son. But Jehovah's angels began to call him out of the heavens, saying, Abraham, Abraham, to which he answered, Here I am. And he went on to say, Do not put out your hand against the boy, and do not do anything at all to him. For now I do know that you are God-fearing, and that you have not withheld your son, your only one, from me. At that Abraham raised his eyes and looked, and there, deep in the foreground, there was a ram caught by its horns in a thicket. So Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up for the burnt offering in place of his son. And Abraham began to call the name of that place Jehovah Jireh. This is why it is customarily said today, In the mountain of Jehovah it will be provided. And Jehovah's angels proceeded to call to Abraham the 2nd time out of the heavens, and to say, By myself I do swear, is the utterance of Jehovah, that by reason of the fact that you have done this thing, and you have not withheld your son, your only one, I shall surely bless your seed, and I shall surely multiply your seed like the stars of the heavens, and like the grains of sand that are on the seashore. And your seed will take possession of the gates of his enemies. And by means of your seed, all nations of the earth will certainly bless themselves due to the fact that you have listened to my voice.
That was very enjoyable, Vinny, very enjoyable. And we can already see that was your first shot, which is hard to believe the way you delivered it. But many things, you had your Bible up high, you weren't intimidated by the equipment, and obviously you continue to be more comfortable with that. But you were working on accurate reading. You told on page 83, read aloud exactly what is on the printed page. See and say. And that's what you were able to do. It tells us careful and correct reading is a fundamental part of conveying accurate knowledge of Bible truth. And that's what you were able to do, and we look forward to your next